So getting to South Korea from the States actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, or as hard as I thought it was going to be. I tried watching a lot of YouTube videos before I got here, but honestly, nothing really helped a whole heck of a lot. Really, it was just getting there, landing, and then they just tell you to go from station to station to station, fill out this piece of paperwork, fill out that piece of paperwork, go to the next station. Like, they kind of walk you through it. About the only big things I would say is make sure that you have the address that you're going to be staying at, because they ask for that, and then have a Korean number. It's fine if it's like another person who maybe you know in Korea. That's totally fine too. But you do need that because they need to call that person to make sure that that it's not just a random number. But this plane ride was actually pretty full. The other flight wasn't nearly as full to Korea. But yeah, once I got over there, that guy in the yellow security suit, he would take our temperature, and then the guy in the red would give us some paperwork that we had to fill out. And here's the paperwork. And basically it's just different agreements to whenever you get to Korea. And then they would give you that little sticker on the back that says that you don't have a temperature and that you should be good to go. We filled out all this stuff as we had a layover for about 2 hours. Plane from Beijing came in, and they just cleaned it out, refueled it, and that was the plane that we took. Here was our new gate that we had to stay at for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Got a little something to eat while I was waiting. But yeah, so there was this little old lady in front of me, and that guy who was looking at everybody's passports and information. It's kind of giving her a little bit of a hard problem, but then with me, he was just like, "Hey, you're totally fine to go." And I'm like, "Wow, okay, you don't even need to see anything." So I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, so the plane was actually pretty big, pretty comfortable. I had the whole aisle to myself, which was great. Even the meals on the plane were actually pretty good. But yeah, had plenty of space. Every seat had these really nice touch screens with movies, TV shows, all kinds of stuff. I didn't really find anything that I liked, so I just watched some movies that I had downloaded before I got on the plane on my phone. But it was kind of nice just to have that option. Yeah, they also gave us these little like travel packs that came with like headphones, and then like a little blanket there, and like a little mini pillow. And then this other little packet that had like earplugs and blindfold for sleeping, which is just a nice little touch. And then here was our dinner that we had that night. It was like a little chicken bowl. With, I think that's, yeah, it was with fruit and little Ben and Jerry's ice cream. But it was actually really good. It was small, but it was really good. But yeah, this is my favorite part of that touchscreen was the flight information. I really enjoyed that because it told you how many more hours until the arrival, a little bit of information about the plane, what time it was going to be whenever you landed. And yeah, I actually had it on that screen for most of the time. And yeah, this is whenever I was trying to sleep. You can barely see it because it's so dark, but yeah, and this is another little snack that they gave snacks all throughout the flight, like goldfish and like a little, actually I think this is breakfast. Yeah, with juice. But yeah, wasn't too bad. But as you can see, yeah, there are not many people on the flight at all. This is after we landed. Yeah, so one thing that I was wanting to do was bring my kettlebell with me, but they said that I had to check it in to put it underneath the plane. I couldn't take it as a carry-on, so I just decided not to bring it with me. But yeah, so once we get off the plane, these people, they wanted me to download this Corona app. So basically, whenever I get into my hotel, I have to check in the mornings and the afternoons to basically put any new symptoms that I have. And they basically help me out with each step of the process. You can't really prepare for it, honestly. They just kind of give you paperwork to sign. And all in all, it took about an hour or so. And this is my last stop, really, was this little holding area with the security, which was kind of hilarious because I was trying to ask them, like, how much longer it would be. But they didn't really understand what I was saying. But they eventually, let me out, and they put me on this bus. And the bus ride was about 30 or 40 minutes from the airport, which was kind of making me a little bit worried because I didn't know how far I needed to go. I didn't know if it was up on me, to take the right stop. But thankfully, there was one of the policemen. He sat in the front, and then I sat in the back. And yeah, we drove all the way to the hotel that I stayed in quarantine. But it was funny because I was asking him, the cops who were there, I was asking them if there was a special hotel that I was going to need to stay at, or if it was on me, or if they were providing it, or just like what was up with it. And they just, I guess the translation app I was using just wasn't really working super well. But yeah, the ride actually lasted a lot longer than I thought. I thought that they would just have like a hotel right outside the airport, but once we got to the hotel, person in a kind of like full hazmat came on the bus and basically just told us to follow her, and we went into this little back area of the hotel, and we signed some more paperwork, and yeah, they just got us checked into the hotel. It was a pretty quick process. This was maybe like 10 minutes. And we paid for it in full there. For me, it was, I think, $105 a night for 14 nights. All in all, on my card, I think it was like $1,500, well, with tax. Which, I mean, wasn't terrible, but, I had to scan that. So that just to press the button.
Fourth floor.
Oh.